Tesla's least expensive vehicle, the Model 3, 6 months later. Yo, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate every single one of you. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And now I'm in my Tesla Model 3. I've had it for 6 months. It's a 2025, the refreshed body, the refreshed model. And I'm gonna tell you what it's like to actually have this vehicle. Do I regret getting it? It is the least expensive vehicle that Tesla offers. And if you get that $7,500 tax credit, you can get it for $35,000. But overall, this 2025 has exceeded my expectations. And I typically don't do this, but I watched a lot of videos and I read a lot about this model before I got it, because I wasn't too happy with the Standard Range Plus 2020. And some of the things that bother me, they've improved a lot. The only thing that's not changed is the audio. The audio is still, again, it's good, not great. It's probably better than a lot of other vehicles in this price range, but it's not up to par with the other Teslas out there. I leased this vehicle at the end of the year of 2024 because of the amazing lease deals they had. And of course, if you're interested in getting any of these vehicles, the link is in the description. And you know, I have a code for you to use, or if you know somebody that has a Tesla referral link, use theirs, because that's the best way to, you know, get money off of your vehicle. But I cannot pass up on the amazing deals. The Tesla Model 3 and Model Y are Tesla's leading vehicles as far as sales are concerned. So what does that mean? There's way more accessories, and the very best accessory for the Tesla Model 3 is this wireless MagSafe charger by MagBack. And I love it because if you use the wireless chargers on your Tesla, they charge slowly and occasionally overheat your phone. The MagBack hasn't overheated once. My phone doesn't even get hot, and it fast charges. The location of it is perfect. It's right in your line of sight, so when you're stopped somewhere, you can FaceTime. If you're using a streaming service that Tesla does not provide, like YouTube TV, where I can catch the games, and it looks OEM. Super easy to install, clean look, very durable. I highly recommend MagBack's wireless charger. Thanks again to MagBack for sponsoring this video. Links to everything in the description. So I went with the gray color because my last 5 vehicles have been gray. I went with the white interior because I love the airy look. In some of my videos, people say things like, man, you need to get your windows tinted. My windows are tinted. That's how airy this vehicle is, and it feels, because of these white seats and the open air and all the windows, the openness. It feels so bright in here, but my windows are tinted, and I have a high quality tint if you're interested. If you're in SoCal, look at Elevance, and the link to them is in the description. High quality tint makes it feel like it's not tinted in here. It is tinted, but even though it's a smaller vehicle, it doesn't feel small when you're inside of it. Another big improvement, the ride quality. The new coil suspension is a lot smoother. You could almost be fooled that it's air suspension, but it is not. But it's a nice, smooth ride, and it still feels fun to drive because it's low to the ground. You can still feel the bumps here and there, which gives it that sporty feel. But overall, it's a more comfortable ride than it was in the past. After 6 months, some of the things that have held up, the seats still look nice. I did apply the leather protection from Gion, but I didn't apply that until last week. So for the first 6 months, I had no protection at all. People say use baby wipes. I haven't even done that. When I wash my car, sometimes I use my rag and I just wipe it down. And I was in a loaner Model 3 with the white interior, and the white sides and white seats were filthy. And that made me nervous because I said they can get dirty if you don't take care of them. If there were some things that I'd want to improve, I already talked about the audio. I'd want to improve that if possible. But that wouldn't make me want to upgrade to the all-wheel drive version just for the audio. The steering wheel is improved. I know on the Model Y they included the turn signal stalks. For me, I've gotten so used to these controls on the steering wheel, it's kind of hard going back. I don't miss it at all. You get used to it, and they're actual tactile clickable buttons. And as far as performance, is not the fastest, but it's fast enough. Now, even when I had the Plaid as a loaner, even in my Model X and my Cybertruck, which are fast vehicles, I rarely floor it. I rarely punch it. So I don't need the fastest vehicle anyway. So this vehicle, oh, there you go. See off the line? And look, cars are looking at me. It is fast, but it's not ridiculously fast. But it's fast enough for most people. I will say that it's a great daily driver. If you're trying to get from point A to point B efficiently, and I'll talk about that in a minute, trying to get somewhere efficiently and have a little fun while doing so, you know, get yourself a Model 3. So I'm gonna show you this Model 3 in front of me. Yeah, he's zipping around too, and he just cut in front of me twice. So he's having some he's having some fun too as we drive down the street. But just having one of Tesla's least expensive vehicles, you would think that you're getting shortchanged, but you're absolutely not, because of all the things it still brings to the table. It has all the software. This is hardware 4, which means it's Tesla's latest hardware, which will future-proof you for a little while at least, right? So when I use my full self-driving, it's almost close to flawless. You get what I'm saying? Almost close to flawless. Yes, I need to take over every now and then, but it is definitely improved since my 2020, since I had full self-driving in my 2020. And yes, that's a software thing, but also having hardware 4 with those high-def cameras and full integration, everything's just a little bit better. My kids love using the rear screen, whether it's to play games, whether it's to watch YouTube or Netflix. They love using it. They have enough space. I have 3 boys back there, and they fit comfortably. And having 3 boys that are in sports, you do have to worry about the white seats. And they have held up really, really well. Look at those white seats. Here's something I noticed today. I noticed that this was really dirty. And I'm like, how did this get dirty? I'm wondering, when they were repairing the car, when they repaired the car, did they touch it with their dirty hands? I don't know how that got like that. But I'm gonna try to clean. That's pretty nasty. Or I don't know if my sons came back from practice and his hands were dirty and he's touching up here. I need to see how hard that is to clean, because I've never seen it that dirty. So that is something that I'm gonna work on. But all of the software is the same on the least expensive Tesla as it is on the most expensive Tesla. I got all the media stuff. I got all the games, right? Everything's the same. I got the browser. The Model S and X used to be able to play Steam games. I don't think they are anymore. So essentially, everything you get on the most expensive Teslas, you get on the least expensive Teslas. So you're saving a ton of money by getting this. 6 months later, there's been no slowdown. Everything runs beautifully, you know, zippy enough, speedy enough. Look at that, right? You can zoom out. Everything's beautiful. Look at that. Look how fast that is. A little bit of loading, and when are you ever doing that? But look how quickly that populates, right? And that comes in. So a zippy screen. And what more can you ask for this price? But you do need to get used to having one screen. If you're coming from a different vehicle, you probably have an instrument cluster behind the wheel, but you don't get that on here. You can get that aftermarket, but you don't get it with this. And honestly, it's not hard getting used to the single screen here on the right. Look how hard I have to turn my head to see things. That's it, right? I can see everything without moving my head around. But look at my headroom. Very comfortable in here. Very nice. Very airy. Now, I don't use the frunk as much on here as I do with my Cybertruck and my Model X, just because it's smaller. And sometimes I'm like, man, I can barely put anything in there. And it's not powered. but I do use it occasionally, like if I have food, but I'm worried about things. It's small enough to put things in, but still big enough that things can move around. So I don't use the frunk as much as I would like to. But just look at this beautiful vehicle, right? Look at it. Man, that's nice. Tinted windows. The rear boot, like they call it in Europe, it is not a hatchback, so you do have less space getting things in and out. But when you look in here, I mean, it's serviceable. I put everything I need in here. I haven't had a moment where I need to put something in here that wouldn't fit. And of course, the rear sub trunk storage is there. So there's plenty of storage space. Those seats can go down in the back, these seats, so you have even more storage space. But overall, this car is the perfect vehicle for somebody who wants to get from point A to point B. And being 6 foot, the hardest part is getting in and out. So look at that, right? The door's open and I do gotta get low. I'm gonna step. Not the hardest thing in the world, but I have to watch my head. I do need to watch my head and I do need to duck and get in. But once I'm in, I'm comfortable and I feel safe, right? But here I go getting out. Right, so it's not the worst thing in the world. I do gotta use my quads a little bit. I gotta duck my head a little bit, but I'm in. My cousin is 6'1", 6'2". He has a Model 3. My brother is 6'1", 6'2". He has a Model 3. And they share that same experience as far as, you know, getting in and out is not the easiest. But once you're in there, you're good to go. But I love my Model 3. I highly recommend it for anybody out there that's looking to get a Tesla, looking to get an entry-level Tesla, and it's held up phenomenally well. Look at these seats. Really white, looking good. A little bit of dirt here, but look at this. Look how easily that wiped away. That wiped away easily, and that was just spit. Wiped away with spit. I used to keep baby wipes in my car. I might get some just to have it on deck for this one. I don't know why I don't have them on this one yet, but look at this. It's held up well. The white seats are great. They really add to the airy experience, and I feel like that's another iconic thing about Teslas, white seats. If you're worried about getting white seats, don't worry about it. Roll the dice, get them, just keep them clean. And I'm more worried about that fabric up there being all dirty. That's nasty, bro. You see there's limited leg space in the back. So again, if you have a bigger family, you might not want to get a Model 3 because there's limited leg space in the back. I wouldn't like to sit in the back seat of the Model 3. There's plenty of headroom. Let me pull my seat up and show you what a 6 foot person looks like sitting in a Model 3. Look at that, plenty of head space. And it's actually pretty, let me close the door. Yeah, it's actually pretty comfortable back here. It feels pretty good. It's not too tight. I mean, I could roll back here. It's not a Model Y. Model Y is much more comfortable, but this is not bad at all. If I wanted to play the games, oh, that's kind of low. That's kind of low for me to reach, and it's a little uncomfortable, and I probably wouldn't play games. I'd watch YouTube, though. I'd watch movies. And, of course, you can have the audio standalone back here, or you can have Bluetooth on, or you can have the audio from back here play throughout the whole cab and the front and the back. Again, it's a smaller vehicle, but it's just what you need as a daily driver. And also the range has been amazing. This vehicle goes and goes and goes. I charge it to 90%. I have 340 miles of range. So that's probably the best feature about it. I don't charge it very often, but when I do, I feel like I can travel a long ways. I drove it down from Fresno, California, only stopped once, and I could have made it on full charge. I can make it all the way here, right? But having that range, yes, it's rear wheel drive, but if you live somewhere where you're not worried about, you know, snow, or you don't get too much rain, you're not worried about traction too much, then rear wheel drive is perfect. Rated at over 363 miles of range, and some people say they get more than that. To me, that's probably one of the best features of this vehicle. If we look at the efficiency, lifetime, 234 watt hours per mile. This drive right here, 216 watt hours per mile. A lifetime efficiency that's way more efficient than my Model X, way more efficient than my Tesla Cybertruck. It's just almost, I would almost call this the perfect vehicle. If it was a little bit bigger, like a Model Y, then this would be a perfect vehicle. I will check out the Model Y and I'll have something to compare it to. But as of today, Tesla knows what they're doing with the Tesla Model 3. After 6 months, I think I made the right choice. Look at Tesla's website. They're always changing their different incentives to purchase or to lease to get your hands on the Model 3, or go the used route like my brother and my cousin did, because you can get some amazing deals on older Model 3s, which hold up pretty well. The value holds, and also they're in pretty good shape. Make sure you check it out first. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget, Cobra told you. All right, y'all.